Hey there! So, a lot of you wanted me to do a DigiPen or like frill Japans where or whatever or wherever I get all my clothing and how I do it because I get it off Japanese secondhand websites. I used to use Yahoo Auctions a long time ago, or not all the time, just a bit ago, but I recently got more into Frill Japan and I've only been ordering off there, so I'm just gonna show you how I do it. And it's not that hard, but a lot of you wanted me to show it, so I will show it to you. So I will just go to Frill Japan like this, and I just search for brands that I like, which could be, I don't know. I used to like a lot of Les Lisa, I don't really anymore, but a lot of you still do. So I would search Les Lisa. And then you can see here, like, this is 3,000 yen, this is 1,000 yen. And you can just convert it to your currency if you just type, like, for example, I would type, it's like 1,000 yen is like 7 euros something, but I would type like 1,000 yen in euro, and that's how you know it overall. For example, you can do it with any currency and we'll just show you, and that's how you know how expensive it is. And then like you will just scroll down and look at all the stuff. I usually spend weeks and weeks looking through all the fashion like brands that I like, and usually it's like 100 pages, and I will just keep going here, and then I will just tell you some brands I look for. I look for Wigo, for example. I look for WC. I look for Spins, Bubbles, also Angelic Pretty, but it's not like, I don't really get much of Angelic Pretty, just some occasional stuff because it's obviously way more expensive because it's a Sweet Lolita brand. But currently I have some windows open actually. I also search for Ank Rouge, so I'm like, you can probably see I'm on page 14 already. Or I also got into Swankies recently, so I'm just looking for Swankies, and those are all the brands. Like, I have these earrings open right now because I really kind of want them. And yeah, Honey Cinnamon, Spins, WC, Swankies, all those kinds of brands is what I usually look for. Ank Rouge, all of that, I guess. And let's do an example of an item. For example, I want these earrings, right? So I currently use the shopping service DigiPen, not for any special reason. I haven't tried that many. I used Tenso before, but I had some problems with them because they lost the package, and I obviously wanted my money back because that's not my problem. And I forced my money back through PayPal basically, or like forced, it's my right, and they were always like, oh, you have to refund the money, and I was like, no, I never. They were acting like I don't know, I did something wrong, even though it wasn't me, it was them. And then later on, a few months later, they were like, oh, it arrived at our place again, and I'm like, yeah. And I will blur out whatever if there's something. So these are the packages I have shipped. Obviously keep in mind, so we will take, for example, these earrings, we will copy this link and we will type it in here in shopping in DigiPen. It's just a shopping service. I'm not being paid for any of this. I just use the shopping service because they're easy and convenient and they don't really charge much. Like, of course, it's more expensive to ship from Japan to, for example, Austria than like to ship from Germany to Austria. That's obvious because it's overseas and whatever. So you just type in this link, you let them know like honey cinnamon earrings. And if I didn't mention, but I think you'd know, all of these goods are obviously used, so it's like just if you went to a flea market but online, then you tap in option. If you don't have an option, you type no option, then you look at the price, it's 1,000 yen, then you type 1,000 yen, quantity is 1 because there's only one. Obviously you can also upload an image, but you don't have to, it's just for yourself. And then you can add more items and go on. Like, for example, we will take these are pens I'm interested in. We do the same, and then we would confirm the request, which I'm not gonna do because I'm not wasting my money. And basically I would probably be able to show you. What you do is, so you add all the items and then you pay for them via, I pay via PayPal, and they're in the shopping thing, and then you wait. Do you wait until they are at the warehouse, and then they calculate the shipping, and you can choose from shipping. There's a really slow one, which is the cheapest one, but I'm usually a very cheapest person, but I don't get that because that's just very like I waited 3 to 4 months, and that's just too long for me, because in my case I ordered winter clothes and it was spring already, so that doesn't, like, it doesn't, you don't get anything out of it usually, unless you order like summer clothes in winter, then I guess you wouldn't, but it's over like a ship or something, and that's why ever since I did that, and that didn't really, like, that was kind of exhausting. I always choose like SAL or EMS, which is a bit more expensive but not the most expensive. There's also very fast options, but I personally would never choose those. Another tip is that obviously, or like maybe it's not obvious, but it's of course very expensive if I just would want these earrings and I would order them. I would still pay a lot of shipping, so it's not like they have a standard price, obviously, to international shipping, I guess, and you would pay a lot just for these earrings. So usually what I do is, like I said, I gather items like week after week, so I usually have like 5 to even 10 items, depending on if you need anything, if you don't need it. If you only want 1 or 2 items, I wouldn't recommend shopping this way, to be honest. Like, that's just too expensive, unless like it's only 100 yen, but that's probably not the case, which would be like 70 cents. So basically, yeah, they arrive at the warehouse, and then you have to choose the shipping plan, and this is the second payment request. You will get that, and that is where you choose the shipping, and basically they'll ship it out, and then you have the international deliveries. I have made many over the last few years, and yeah, like you can see, SAL or EMS. These were like really slow ones to ship, but yeah. Then you can track them, you get a tracking number, which would be this one, for example. You would copy that and you'd go to Japan Post tracking. It's all not as hard as it seems. And if you're really unsure about an item, or also never go if you see a stock photo and not a photo from the real person. So like the photo that's obviously from the store, not the person who's selling it. So like, this is a good photo. If this is the photo you see, like it's not a home, it's not professional, go for that, but never go for photos that only have the stock image, because you don't know how it actually looks like now. So what you do, if you really want to know something, like, I don't know, if you can't speak Japanese, you just copy and paste into Google Translate and you will kind of get an idea of what it says or whatever. Obviously Japanese sizing is usually one size, so sadly for bigger sizing, it would be a bit hard, but you can still find stretchy ones. They also have a lot of stretch on the opposite side, so like on the contra side, I guess. So yeah, and yeah, I guess that's basically all. I can also, so that's basically it. You just be aware that the shipping is higher than you'd expect, but if you buy a lot of cheap items like I usually do, and you choose the cheaper shipping option, it's kind of like it weighs itself out. I don't know if that's the correct way to say it in English, but we say it in German. So you, I don't know, you pay like, let's say you have like, you pay 60 euros shipping, but you got like 7 items, and some of the items, sometimes like I got really good items for only like 3 euros, and so you divide the shipping cost up onto your items, and in total it's really not a lot for what you got, if you get what I mean, because obviously I search for brand items usually, and yeah. So this would be Yahoo Auctions. This is a bit harder. I wouldn't recommend for first timers. I used to only do it this way. You also use the Japan, you type Angelic Pretty, for example. And I don't know, you want this one. Wow, that is really cool, but it's very expensive. You would go like this, you would copy and paste it again, but this time you'd go to auction because it's from an auction, and you'd get it like this. And the thing with this is you can't add it up like with the other items. You have to do it separately, and that's for every item you pay like a fee, I think 100 to 200 yen, which isn't too much, but it can add up after a while. So you could also do that, and from the other stuff it's basically the same. You could either win or not win. You could place a bid, like you could say like, oh, I'll do 22,000 yen, and maybe you win, maybe you don't, because obviously it's an auction. You could place a sniping bid, which means you place, it's, I don't know, let's say it's the time runs out at 1 AM and you'd place your bid, or like at 2 AM you'd place your bid at 1:55, like 5 minutes before, so your chance of winning is higher. But yeah, so I guess that was it. It's not that hard, it's just like it takes a lot of patience, a lot of looking to get some good items, and yeah, there's also of course more expensive items here. Some people obviously like sell it for more expensive, but usually with, I don't know, in my experience, they aren't as bad as European people who have reselling stuff. They usually, their prices are really nice, especially on Frill. It's pretty nice. Like for example, this is Swankies, right? It's 2,500. Also be careful, it's not that big of a problem, but it could be. Always look if they have like tags photographed, because it obviously could also be a fake item. So look at the tags, look at Google, for example, if you want authentic Liz Lisa, Google Liz Lisa tag, and you know, okay, this is how the Liz Lisa tag looks. So look for like a pic of this tag, or at least like it's visible. And yeah, that's it, I guess. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.